Yes, I signed my soul on the dotted line. Well, thank you very much, kids. Those are my kids, Kanan and Samson. Now, Benjamin has his own show. It's called Magic with Ben, and he does magic on the radio.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
And on the road?
Well, he's only 11.
Ah.
So no on the road as of yet.
How about on the path?
He's on the path to something, hopefully greatness.
Right, yes.
But the problem is that he's his own man, and he can clearly see that this show live from my bedroom isn't his show.
Right.
And he no longer wants to be
68-year-old guests.
No, actually, the reason this show exists, of course, is so that later I will listen to this with my kids, and it's to introduce Canadians to Canadians. It's been a really weird experience. I mention names of people that have moved mountains for entertainers, and they don't know these people.
No.
And I had to learn my life lessons when I tried to do some comedy, and then people introduced me to certain names like a Lenny Bruce, and people that allowed me to cuss in public. You have to know the story.
Yeah.
So, who is your Lenny Bruce?
Well, the girl that got me into the business was Brenda Leigh.
You have to be more specific. Is Brenda Leigh a...
She was a 50s, 60s pop star, had probably 10 to 20 number one American hits on the top of the charts.
What's her number one, if you don't mind me asking?
Biggest one probably is a tune called I'm Sorry.
I'm sorry,
That's
but...
the one. Yep.
Okay. Yes.
And several other large rock and roll type tunes from... she was on the Perry Como show several times.
I actually like Perry Como. That's probably why I don't have many friends now. Are you a Perry Como fan?
Yeah, he's a sweet guy. As a 12-year-old kid in Ottawa, I thought movie stars just had jobs like we had. You know?
Right, right.
Wrote them letters. Some of them wrote back.
Hold on. So this is pre-photography, writing letters?
12,
right? Because 13 is when you picked up the camera.
And one guy that wrote back was Perry Como. Actually wrote me a nice full-page letter.
Right.
Number 2 guy, Robert Cummings, the actor.
Again, I'm stuttering because you went out of your way to write them a letter to thank them for their.
Bob Cummings had a show called The Bob Cummings Show, and another one called That's Bob. And the Bob Cummings Show he was a glamour photographer.
Okay.
And his head model was Joy Lansing, who was kind of like the Jane Mansfield of her day.
Oh, but with their head on.
Yes, a little younger than Jane. And
did you take pictures of Jane? The way you just said that just made me feel like you actually know of her. That was weird.
No,
I'm assuming you know everybody. I'm actually taking this conversation like, so God, how is he? Moses, Jesus, these people. Have you taken pictures?
He's got a new condo on the lake.
Don't we all?
Great, yeah, it's Lake Las Vegas.
That's so funny. It's funny for so many reasons. So, but I really do put you in an interesting bucket of people that have crossed paths with people, and if they were all native, they would have said you stole their soul, that you took a little piece of them.
Well, it started that way. First time I ever went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and shot the people selling silver jewelry in the old market square. Yeah. They hid their eyes.
Right.
Because that's the old-fashioned superstition that if you looked at the photographer, he could steal your soul through their eyes.
I didn't know it was through the eyes specifically, but I guess that makes
that was the exit venue.
So how do you find that? Did you take a lot of pictures of native folks after that?
I did after that, yeah, because they got smart enough to know that it's their heritage to leave images. And
right.
The nice thing was, too, and I learned this in California from 3 different local tribes, please just ask.
Oh, right. Don't just do.
They're a proud people. Don't sneak candids, you know.
Right.
Knowing full well you might get somebody, former chief somewhere, scratching his nose, and it looks like he's spent the afternoon doing just that.
Right. Okay, so just ask.
Just ask.
And then he'll put on a little makeup, a little powder, maybe a little war makeup.
He'll sit up a little straighter and be a little more magically proud.
Oh, right, because he knows that image is now like concrete.
Yeah.
It's there forever.
Yeah. Huh. And that's stuff that they have to contend with that we don't even know about. You know? So that's what you do when you photograph. And I've always respected the rules of the house and certainly the rules of the people.
But you're hired by the house normally. And the house hires you to show up to take pictures of the people who are in the house.
And that's the name of the game. But I play by all the rules.
Right, but the house gives you the rules. House always wins.
Yes.
So when you're working for the man and the man then brings the artist into town, you may not know the artist, but the man told you to take pictures of the artist.
Yeah, and get the best pictures you can.
And so you as the artist, you at some point make a meeting to make sure that there's a knowledge that you're doing such?
Not so much that, although that does count after a while, but it's all got to be visual first.
So you're there just trying to get the best action.
Yeah, show this person being what he thinks he is.
Make his own resume.
A cute one, not necessarily complimentary to everybody in the conversation.
Right,
but,
right.
Terry Jacks came to me in '77 and said, "John, I'm 39 years old. I need to look 19."
Now, Jacks is, you have to be, everything you got to baby step it.
Yeah.
Speed me like I'm 2.
Part of the Poppy family was Susan Jacks. And the guy who came along and plagiarized, what was the guy's?
Robin Thicke at this point?
No, Rod McEwen's song.
That's interesting.
We had joy, we had fun, we had season. Pass the peanut butter in the sun. Where's my yacht?
Oh, my Lord.
You know, and it was funny. I was working with Rod in L.A. at the time, and his manager came in one day and said, "Rod, I think you should know about this." And he had some chart pictures cut out a billboard of Terry and the record being number 4 and so on. And he said to Rod, he said, "We haven't received a nickel in royalties on this, and they're pressing the second million now. It sold 14 million copies,
and no money was paid out to the artist as of yet."
As of yet, but ultimately, I mean, Rod was contemplating suing Terry for a while, not understanding plagiaristic rights and all that stuff.
Right.
And eventually he said, "It's okay now, John. I just got my first royalty check. It was for $230,000.
Is that even close to what he's owed, though?
No idea. No,
that's a good amount of money. You can buy a
Certainly, yeah.
But is he owed more than the Viper?
I imagine.
I don't know.
14 million, I'd say so.
It's a weird business, this business. So here we are sitting in a beautiful studio, RDC,
Yes.
which is how you and I know each other, which is you were invited to the TIFF studios during the Toronto International Film Festival, where Ron, the music guy who does most of our music for our show, and the theme song for sure, he's been with us since the beginning, brought friends because he's from the music business. He worked for some music labels, and I believe I just heard a story that his father is the first person to ever hire you to actually snap some pictures to be working for a label.
Charlie Camilleri, yes, sir.
Sir, the late Charlie. And now that he's not here anymore, he is the man who gave you an opportunity to do what you were already doing,
right,
but for some money.
Yes.
And the pictures that you did for him, do you remember what that job was?
Not the first one, no, way back. It might have been Al Martino. I don't know.
I don't know who Al Martino is.
Old Italian singer who played in The Godfather, was the Frank Sinatra character in The Godfather.
At the wedding. Someone sang at the wedding right at the beginning of the. Remember the 12-minute scene there at the wedding?
I don't remember the movies.
I
did see them.
Yeah, I don't like any time. Yeah. I don't like the mafia movies. They're too something. There's something going on there. Not a fan.
Yeah.
But I do like The Princess Bride, which
yes.
it has.
True love.
True love I love.
True love.
You're in the pit of this. You're in the pit of despair.
Yeah. He's only partly dead.
You got the hangers on?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm not taking that the wrong way when Art walks in telling me I'm a hanger-on. Yeah, for sure.
You're in the middle of recording.
Well, yeah, certainly. Yeah. Oh, you don't have to. Listen, if you think you're interrupting this, you, sir.
Get Melissa in here to do an interview, quick. Get Melissa in here to do an interview.
Yeah, all right, I'd be the first person to call Art.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, interview you. Interrupting us doing the interview.
Right, we're not actually being interrupted in a beautiful studio because we were actually, what were we talking about when they just walked in the door? Yes. This beautiful studio where Ron is now showing it off again.
Brought in his disciples.
Yeah. That's very funny.
Yeah.
That's great. I think I love the way you are talking to me, sir. Yeah, the washroom is just behind that door. Yeah. You know what? Table 5, your fries are ready. I feel that this show may have lost its luster. But if I can make John laugh, I win. I don't think it ever had luster.
No, it had luster, but, this is environmental now.
Oh, yeah,
and
clearly.
We're assimilating the current momentary environment.
It's called impromptu.
Yeah.
Which I've been, this impromptu chat, by the way, has been asked for since TIFF of last year. That's what we're doing. And I'm hoping you're in town for this TIFF.
I'm coming,
Yeah, bring your camera so you can get some fantastic snaps.
Yeah.
And this year I'll do my dangest to make sure all celebrities stop. Like, we'll do our damnedest to try to, when we know you're coming, we'll give you the list.
We'll bring one of those little things from the construction site that stops them from going down the hall.
Yeah, I'm even happy because I am having an artist come in. Maybe I can talk to Melissa about how we can fabricate a day where you can bring in some of your shots. I would love to spread them through one of the rooms and just show them off for a day. But I want to display them more than what do you call it, a flip reel.
Yeah.
Those are some sweet shots. Those are sweet. And so now that we are in Ron's space, you've never been to Ron's space before. Were you here before it was?
Nope.
And how do you, and have you ever been to this home? This is Charlie's house. This is his
Yeah,
shop.
I was here once.
You just didn't make it down the stairs.
I know I'm not working.
No, this has always been a studio.
Yeah.
It's just now I'm now paying between $900 and $1,500 an hour studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is sweetness.
Yeah.
I thought for a sense, I thought you might be a musician, that you play guitar.
Yeah, I played guitar since 1960. Yeah.
Right. And yourself, have you recorded yourself doing some stuff?
No, we actually were scouted by Delphi Records in California.
Are they even around anymore?
They are.
Delphi's still kicking.
No big hits, but nonetheless, Dick Dale's still affiliated with his oldies, and Richie Valens started on that label. And we knew a scout that looked across America and Canada for new talent, and he found a budget for us, and we were just about to go into the studio, and we broke up.
The band?
Yeah.
It happens. How long were you guys together?
6 years.
Yeah, 7-year itch, right?
Yep.
It's the 7-year itch. It happens.
And
that happens to a lot of really good, because it's a family, and you get kind of upset that the money didn't come, that the love didn't come, and then you have to go. You can't blame yourself because it can't be you.
Into the world.
Yeah, so you blame the drummer.
Yeah. Or the bass player.
Yeah,
bass
it's always
player is currently taking more.
Well, I would say you just replace him with the synth guy who can play left-hand bass. That's my
or foot pedal bass.
That guy's taking everyone's jobs in Vegas.
See, there's two options to his option.
Right. So, man, it's been such a long time. But I don't want to even ask you your favorite, because that's not what I'm going for. What I want to find out is more along the lines, this is what you wanted to do and you did it, and now my kids are going to listen to, you wanted to do something in life and you did it.
Yeah.
And that trial to be a photographer has got to be ridiculous. I mean, are you doing weddings? Like, how are we?
I did weddings in the beginning, probably.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. You want to keep doing it.
Burton Cummings.
You did Burton Cummings' wedding?
David Clayton Thomas, yeah.
Hold on, these are their weddings?
Yeah. That's what we did at the time.
That's funny.
We laughed.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Bert got married at City Hall.
Right.
And David had a big reception up at the Four Seasons Hotel on Leslie. And stories forever.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what you get, right? I mean, in this industry, it's weird. It's a hurry-up-and-wait scenario. You're there for 5 hours with your camera just waiting for the guy to walk in. He's on stage for 5 minutes, and you have all that time of 5 minutes to capture what you can capture, and then he walked off the stage. Am I wrong?
You're right.
I didn't even include the travel time. I didn't even include that he had to get into his car. You know, it's a weird. People don't see the behind the scenes of the making of even a photo.
Yeah.
They don't even understand it, and so there's a lot of prep. I'm not even too sure how you fight lighting, because I see most of your shots. They don't look studio. They look outside. They look action. You're caught with the DOP. Whoever was doing whatever they're doing, they were doing it to you. Is that right?
Yep.
So now you have to now change a bunch of whatever to make whatever looks good to you is what. See. In digital world, you might not get what you got, because then you can just play with colors afterward all day long.
Or shift anything.
Is that the same way it was back in the day?
No. You look at what we were doing in film, even when I started in 1960, and it's like going back to the caveman.
Right, because it's a whole other process.
It's another world, but then at the same time, it's depressed worlds where we had, by the time I got out of film in 2000, they had a 3200 ASA film from Fuji, very, very big deal. And that was it for experimentation into fast color.
Right.
we processed film with a ASA 25 as the norm in the beginning, which wouldn't get you anything.
Right. And by anything you mean exposure? Is that what
Yeah.
you're...
Well, it would get you really nice D log E curves, lots of whites and grays and blacks in the right balance.
Right. Are you shooting black and white? Is that what we're doing?
That's in those days. Yeah.
I guess that's all we have.
See,
Color
all
came in.
the trades to this day don't spend a lot of money on color print.
That's interesting.
And all the newspapers, of course, were always black and white. So it's the commonality at the lowest denominator for the record companies to say, no, just black and white.
Right. And it seems like you do like the action shots, like I was saying, and on-stage shots. Do you ever do like the promo shots? I guess is what they turn into.
Well,
but do they ever become the album cover?
I've done 125, yeah.
Did you just tell me you've done 125 album covers?
Yeah.
Did you know you were doing the album cover? Or was it just like you were doing
all past tense? You know?
No. But did you know that it was an album cover? Like they hired you, they put you up to do production, promotion shots.
I never shot a job to shoot a album cover.
It just became album cover.
Yes.
Yeah. That's actually kind of what I'm saying. Like, because how do you know? That'd be a weird day to shoot the album cover.
Yeah.
I think promo shots make sense. Now you have genius. You can have a thought in your head. You can place them where the sun's dancing.
Yeah.
But that's a weird day. How proud are you though? That's a crazy day because now not only is it the hey come to the concert shot, it's the this is how our songs are going to sound from now and forever shot. How does that? That's got to do something for you.
Well, yeah, I feel good about it because even when I started, I knew in capturing this young Brenda Leigh on the stage that for the thousands of other people in that auditorium, I was equating with the memories. Only I could bring them home in snapshots. They go home with just the memories. Yeah. And now, God bless, and you know, there's pros and cons about Facebook, but to me, it's like I'm in touch with 1,000 of my friends every night when I put up a picture of Queen Latifah to Gaga way back to Little Richard in '72. And the nicest response I get is, John, I was at that concert. That picture
brought it back.
Was 9 rows from where I was sitting.
That's crazy.
And, you know, from Greg Godowich to other people on Facebook, too many to number.
Right.
That's probably happened 500 times.
How crazy is this?
John, I was at that concert.
Right.
This is the first rock and roll I had, or this was the first time I ever saw Van Morrison. And it's a big monument in their social lives growing up. And what do we want to do now that we're older? Let's go back and socialize like we did in the 70s.
Right. And now it seems like you can with Facebook and backyard parties and medicinal stuff. Sure, everything's good. I like me some backyard parties, and I can't believe this one. We got a live band cooking in the back there. We're hearing some sweet music. I believe we're going to hopefully convince Elton Ron to play, which, again, is the RDC
He's in the
music.
house. We might as well tap him.
I'm glad he's not a girl, because I have to explain that to my sons who are going to listen to this. This is PG.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Well,
so please
what
pretend
did the Supreme Court just do?
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I did you want to teach my kids sex education?
Okay,
is that
put
what
your
you're...
hands on your head and let's get out of the room.
Duck and cover, kids.
Yeah.
This conversation's turned into duck and
Tuck
cover.
and roll. We're going around the corner. Open the door.
Oh, that's old school comedy. Never you mind. Man, so you get to get access where people don't have access. Do you ever get to have that? You're behind the stage, not in front of it. You're taking those shots.
Yeah, that wasn't my big thing. I wanted to be as good in photography and capture the artist as good as he was in music to
okay, all right. And that's got to be from the audience perspective.
Yeah, and
not
that's when I push the button. You know,
right.
when I see him the way I see him when I hear his song in my head while I'm driving or sitting in the backyard or whatever, then that's what I want him to be remembered for, and I want it to be a good picture that shows him.
Right, I know you have a gallery and there's a place that you can purchase any of your prints. I don't believe anyone can buy the original. I didn't see any originals.
No originals for sale. No,
not now.
I've had a lot of
pretty
offers.
Sure soon.
Yeah,
in about 40 years, I can see a list of originals for sale.
Yeah, and you know I'll probably be talking to somebody on some new kind of an email, but
right.
Nonetheless, the stuff I've shot will be around for a while.
The prints are allowing it to be that, and for now and for always.
Yeah,
that's great.
My
Spotlight. Can you give the website? Could you?
SpotlightHeroes.com, and my portfolio is at /Rowlands, ROWLANDS.
Right. Do you have a fan page on Facebook?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you can start one, I guess. And then, but that's the thing. After 5,000 people who want to be your buddy, you have to then start a fan page. So that's going to be called. So I'm hoping that in your future that happens for you. And so, again, I didn't want to ask you. I want to ask you the most crazy thing that took place, other than Burt Bacharach's wedding. That's nice. But I'm more along what crazy.
Well, there's been crazy stuff.
I'm a crazy guy. Yeah. I'm in the world of. Like, I went to Ronnie Hawkins' place, too. So when you talk about it, I see it. The Wall of Shame. Yeah. He told a couple of stories that made my knees actually hurt. Yeah. Because you're like, that can't be right. Yeah. That can't be right.
Well, with Hawkins.
Yeah, well, Hawkins has his own. See, you and Hawkins are now, you're doing the same kind of genre idea. You are hubs to a collective. Yeah. So through him, you are now 1 degree from everything. Yeah. You give it almost exactly the same coverage. Have you ever thought that through? And you're buddy with it. Yeah. So I'm expecting a book at some point. If there isn't a book.
Third one's in the works.
Third one. And the first 2 are available still somewhere?
Somewhere. You can find Spotlight Heroes on
oh, okay. They're on there.
eBay from time to time.
Are they photojournals or are they a story?
Pictures and very short stories in the first one, and pictures, a little longer stories in the second one. And the third one will be one picture on one page and a whole story on the next.
So it's a life being told in stories, even though you don't have the behind-the-scenes shot. You have your perspective from how the audience was involved. But you also have a little behind-the-scenes of how you got yourself there.
Yeah, sometimes,
right? And then there's the post-beat, which is what I was basically reaching for. It's the company says you have to work with John, but I'm assuming most of them will. Thank you very much, that John said. Right. No, I mean, because how many years did it take to get the name that now the artist is like, oh, I'm so happy it's you taking my pictures? Yeah. How long did that take? How many years before you're like, thank you?
Everybody's different, and it depends. You know, the Bowie Archer shot was used by the V&A, and they tell me that 450 million people saw that picture.
Now, the Archer shot, that's David Bowie. Is he Ziggy at that point? I can't remember.
No,
he has his hair.
This is 76.
Okay, and he's in the Archer.
White Duke tour, and or the black and white tour, we call it. And
why'd you call it the black and white tour?
Because everything looked black and white. Black vest, white shirt.
Okay.
Black pants.
Oh, that's what he performed wearing?
Wardrobe,
that was his wardrobe,
much,
not the music, which is what I actually took. Dark and Light is what I took from that. I never. See, I get to live through your pictures. I don't do concerts all that well. It's not the phenomena. If I'm not on stage or in the wings, I don't know why I'm there. Yeah. Because I actually don't know why I'm there.
Sure.
The energy that's I get. The same, I get like this.
Yes. It's A-N-X.
You're not kidding. But when I listen to it at home, I'll pick up my guitar and play along. Yeah. I mean, I want to be a part of the show. I don't know how to watch a good golfer, a good football player either. Yeah. Or a good NASCAR driver, if you want to call that a sport,
That's
I heard.
A sport, yeah.
Now, you and 5 people agree, I'm pretty sure.
Let me tell you about this, too. You see, that the whole thing that you just reflected is the way you feel it. And the way I feel it is one notch a little more involved than being objective, per se.
Please do.
It just comes down to, why are we here? And it's all positive reasoning. Okay. I do my job the best I can. He does the job best he can. I don't know any entertainer I've ever worked for that said, well, let's just go out and throw him a 6 out of 10.
Mail it in. Let's mail it in. Yeah. Yeah. You can actually see a mail-it-in performer, then you ask them not to be in the business anymore. You can see that they should work in Vegas.
There won't be anybody there to pay your check, you see.
No, Vegas actually doesn't want you to be great. Yeah. They want mediocrity. Yeah. Right. Unless you're in the main showroom, and then that's why they're there. Yeah. But my goal in life, John, was to be a lounge act in Vegas.
Yeah, wow.
And I did that. Yeah. So I fulfilled my goal, but when I got there and I was working it, they said, "Can you stop that? Yeah. Could you got to be good enough to keep them coming in, but bad enough that they go back to gambling."
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, I was aware of that. I used to manage a guy who did a John Denver tribute.
Okay. And he was great, probably. He had to go into the main stage because he could no longer work.
And he still packs houses.
Why wouldn't he?
The neat thing was that I learned about the whole machinery over there in Vegas is that we ran over one night by 6 minutes.
You can't do that in Vegas.
They came to us and said,
No, the bathroom's right there.
Don't do that.
And
again.
your burgers will be ready soon.
Can you edit this in post? This part?
I can do whatever I want in post, but I won't because this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Is there a hidden camera?
There is.
in there?
We're going to hear
Right
you
there.
toot.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're gonna smell-o-vision. We're gonna get going on you going to the washer.
We're all going to jail.
Starting with you, sir.
Yeah.
You know what I love about the reason this started, of course, is that I had with the fibromyalgia. If you ever heard of this ailment,
Yes. Oh, yes.
you get foggy brain and
Yeah.
your short-term memory starts to go.
Uh-huh.
And I usually have a pad of paper during a one of these conversations. I didn't write down where the hell were we before that guy had to pinch one.
Yeah.
I'll know when I start listening to it
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
But right now I don't know about pinching anything.
Well, I got the same short-term memory.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, do you
So
have
it's
aches and pains?
It's part of
Aging.
the stroke.
Oh,
see.
when did you have a stroke, sir?
3 years ago.
And we have it. You can get massives and minis, and it's
This was a medium.
a medium.
Yep.
Okay, and did you lose any functionality?
Left side, yeah.
It seems to be coming back a little strong.
Coming back, but there's no sensation. I can have a little bit of dexterity, but right down, just like a laser cutting you in half.
Holy crap!
If I have a mouthful of strong coffee, I only taste it on the right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I got to be without you telling me that your functionality to look at you look like
Yeah.
So if you don't tell people that,
yeah.
people won't know.
See, the left side of my face feels like that
Pins and needles?
Phantom of the Opera mask.
Oh, just solid
Pulling
porcelain.
down. No, just pulling down. Like there's a weight there working against my muscle.
Oh, because the skin's falling down and the muscle's not holding it
No,
up.
it's the brain's saying there's nothing there to receive, so it's going to feel like a default situation, which is what did Gordon Lightfoot have? Was it Bell's palsy?
Yeah, Bell's
It was
palsy.
like Bell's palsy, where everything just droops.
Right. I think Sylvester Stallone also. Bell's palsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't seem to slow him down all that much.
Nope.
And not Steven, and not Sly, and not you. You just took a whack of pictures.
Yeah. Well,
You just took a famous picture. No, I don't know if that's ever going to make it to the screen. Did you take a picture of art? Did that happen?
yeah.
All right. And so do all your pictures make it to the big screen, as I want to call it?
Sometimes, I can direct a lot of them. I know a lot of editorial people that I've worked with all my life, and if it's advantageous on all points, A, for the publication, B, for my purpose, PR, whatever,
Right.
it'll happen.
Oh, no, I was talking about making it 16 by 24.
Oh, in a collectible.
Yeah, like you just took a
circumstance like
picture
that,
in the backyard. That gentleman is well known in Canada,
Yeah,
and there he is.
Fab
And
Gear,
now a very
yeah.
famous photographer has
Yeah.
now captured his image. I know we own that. Will that now turn into a poster?
I don't know. It's not artistic enough to be
You
a
don't know
poster.
until you.
Well, if that kind of poster ever comes around, a backyard barbecue poster.
You mean it's got to be a genre?
And I'll tell you something in general about posters. It's over. It ended in the mid-'90s.
Posters or prints are over. That's what we're gonna call it. Prints.
The posterization business. I used to have a distributor in New York,
Right.
Bruce Telecki, and
Right.
he did very well with my work across the country.
Right.
And I called him less than a year ago with a couple of new ideas, and I said, "So Bruce, you used to have 10,000 artists. How many do you represent now?" And he said, "John, I'm lucky if I got 1,000."
Wow.
And the poster business, the fine art poster business,
Right.
is almost defunct.
Okay, so that becomes the conversation that we had before this, which is the two framing companies in my neighborhood, picture frame companies,
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that same part of the same business? And it's because you
yeah.
buy the
Yeah,
prints
but-
and then you
but
have
see,
to.
It's the old school business that if you take a picture, it needs a frame.
Well, doesn't it?
No.
Okay.
There's easels. There's
Okay.
magnetic clips. There's strips with hooks on them. There's a million ways to hang and display.
And that makes the old wooden and under glass.
Yeah.
But doesn't the glass? It has to keep it longer. It has to help, does it not?
Well, most glass is UV protected. And
Right.
Anything that you put on display under light
Right.
requires that it's be UV protected.
Right. Are your prints? You know how they go like 1,000 over one. Like, do you have them numbered?
On occasion, yeah, we do. Yeah.
So you do a limited of,
Yeah,
of like, because you said the
valuables
Arch,
through the roof.
450 million people saw David Bowie's picture. I mean, not that they own it, that they saw it.
They saw it. It was used as the world press launch for the David Bowie Is show.
Right, right. So that's fantastic. Now, is there residuals on?
No,
That's
no.
too bad, huh?
Not only that, the VNA is a nonprofit, and I had to sign a contract. I didn't have to, but
Right.
I actually agreed with it. That why pay a lot of money for something to support a nonprofit
Right. No.
organization that
Right.
If they have a setback or a downfall in their funding, the government helps them. But nonetheless, they're just relying on people who appreciate art.
And
to
that's
come
you.
and see it at their place and appreciate the art.
Was your signature somewhere, your name
Yep.
somewhere to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure the promotion came the right way?
Yeah.
So
and
you're happy. That's a good business. I mean, for promotion purposes,
Exactly.
artists helping artists.
take away the active income, and
Right. Well, you need an active income.
all you need is
Yeah.
the promotional.
Well, you're
aspect.
on the upper part of the rungs of this ladder, and at some point, do you have an apprentice? Is there someone who is actively?
I'm talking with a couple of youngsters now.
Yeah, and it would be a frickin' shame, and I use the frickin' F word right
Yeah.
there, frickin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a frickin' shame to lose what it is that you've basically brought to our lives as a collective. Now, my kids don't know most of the bands you ever shot, but when they see it, there isn't a shot that you're like, oh, I don't know what's happening in this particular picture. There's something very alive. There's something very active.
Well, it's just people being people, and celebrities have different kind of jobs.
Right.
And you see, if you had a really good guy that served a really great sandwich to you every day, if you had lunch at the delicatessen every day, then you'd want a picture of him with a sandwich coming to your table. Here's the best of Jack in the business,
Right.
serving a pastrami sandwich to me, and that was his niche. That was his thing. That when he wasn't having a personal life with his family, he was doing this.
Making the best damn
Yeah.
sandwiches you could possibly.
Exactly.
So you're just going back to your philosophy. All of us are here to do a job. That's why we're here. Do
Yeah.
your job the best. Either if it's in the arts or building a car or whatever
Yeah.
it is you do, we all have something that
It's
we
your
could.
worth. It's what
Okay.
you get out of life,
Oh, well, now that's a big. So you told me I couldn't get too deep.
Yeah.
Throw me a life jacket, would you? Holy
Yeah.
moly! No, it's all good. No, it's
Yeah.
pretty nice down here.
Yeah.
No, we agree. The washrooms are behind the door over here.
It's all spontaneous.
No, go
man.
ahead, please. Come on in. The water is fine. That's what you say to a guy who's.
There's lots of headroom in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is. Are you not in here for the washroom?
No.
No.
Came down here
Have you met Mike?
I don't think
Mike
we've
Watson,
met Mike.
CBS.
Yeah, Michael Watson's way.
I'm not a handshake. Can I give you a card?
No.
All right,
Bimp,
we're
bimp.
done. We're done. No, it's just I have fibromyalgia.
Oh yeah, we spoke earlier. We talked about.
Did we?
Oh,
Yeah, so let that be my handshake.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing this little thing. I have a problem in Canada. Over the last 50 years, people forgot who actually started businesses in this country, the people who actually do it. And I just interviewed one of the people like Mark Breslin. If you're under 40, you don't actually know who Mark Breslin is. But if I said Yuck Yucks, you know what I'm talking about.
The two together.
Yeah, that's the problem. But it is Mark Breslin's Yuck Yucks. And so I'm here for the last year.
Still,
So say?
it's still.
Oh, yeah. It's the largest chain, if not the second largest chain in North America for comedy clubs. That's his gig. So that's what we're doing. People that are not long forgotten, but they forgot the people that started businesses, like taking pictures of the rock and rollers that basically you feel that you're there after seeing the picture and that life that you can see. There's an essence. And why start yourself as a photographer? Why do that as a job? And why have that job? And did Canada fulfill your needs of being that person? And I think we got a yes out of that, didn't we?
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, at the grand scheme of life, he thinks we all have jobs, and as long as we all do them well, life should be we should all be getting along.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Agree with that.
How do you know?
Well, it's and everybody has to.
Are you on any kind of time schedule right
No,
now?
not too bad.
Oh,
No schedule at all.
No, you have a show, I believe, tonight. I believe you have a show.
No.
Well, he thought you were getting ready for a show. At least that's what Ron's.
Yeah, Wednesday or Friday we're going to see Burton in Casino-rama.
Well, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
not necessarily going to Gravenhurst.
I can go tonight or I can go tomorrow.
Oh.
You see, so
But one of those two things will happen.
yeah. Are you ready to go shortly?
Not necessarily.
Because
I'm just following you.
I mean, give me the cue because I'm as soon as we knock this down with Adam.
I'm Adam.
Oh, you guys didn't even meet.
No, we just did right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. We're waving across the room.
I thought I saw a card go by.
It did.
I just wondered where you were. That's
Yeah.
Right. I kidnapped him for to see the studio, and at the same time, I was hoping to lay down the legacy for which is John.
Well, come and find me when you're comfortable.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a lot of places to hide in this joint, unless he's in the Johnny on the spot in the back, hooking himself up with the, chasing the dragon.
The hot tub that nobody goes near.
Well, you know, I think the first naked Argo girl that gets in,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all going in.
I'll have a camera ready.
Camera at the hard standby. I can't believe that.
Ooh.
So is
Edit
he
that
your
word out.
is he your chauffeur today?
Yeah,
Is
he's my
your...
chauffeur, my friend. And,
Oh, that's nice. How long have you known Mr. Mike from
40
CB?
years.
Wow, that's yucks right there, 1976.
A lot of 40-year pals at this party.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah.
So this guy specifically, because he's in the music side, producer.
No, he was a PR guy for the record company.
So he would have to hire a
Worked
photographer.
For Charlie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
And he certainly hired me, as did Charlie and his other partner in crime at CBS, Eddie Colero.
Is he still kicking?
Yeah, Eddie's still with us. Yeah, not far from here, as a matter of fact. We thought we might see him.
Oh, I hope you do. No. I'm a big fan of when you think of someone, do it. Call them, do something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've always.
After this, the first thing was to call Eddie. That's all I'm going to say after we hang up the phone today.
Yeah.
By the way, we're not on the phone. We are live from my bedroom, and we are in a sweet studio, rdcmusic.ca, where I know that the Factor and other awards, he's trying to put together a production, albums that he's producing, and I myself am someone who likes to sing and play music. And I now just heard that John, but since the stroke, I guess you're not really playing. You need feeling in your fingers to play guitar.
Yeah, I can't play the guitar right now.
Now that makes me sad.
I'm going to kick to try and get it back.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, not being able to feel where the strings are, you wouldn't be able to look up. Like you clearly,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you would have to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
All right, but other than that, damn. Guitar is my drug. If
Yeah,
I couldn't sit
yeah.
down and play guitar, John, but you have photography as well.
Yeah.
So you seem to be handling the shutter speed.
Yeah, it's working. It's
Yeah,
working. I shot Gaga last year. That was a target of mine. So.
Hold on. You set, as a photographer, you can set goals for objects that you would like to shoot?
Oh yeah. There are people in the business that you think are attractive or are artistically inclined and pull poses between songs and things that are just beautiful when you take a snapshot.
Is the Gaga shot available on your online?
No.
Oh, not yet.
No.
Would that be a limited type scenario?
When I do a show, it'll be numbered, yes.
It will be numbered.
Yeah.
Was she wearing a meat dress?
No, nothing that provocative, but she's,
Meat dress provocative?
Okay, yeah. I just made that up.
No, provocative's a great word unless you're, if you're vegan.
Yeah.
Clearly it's the wrong way.
Yeah. Or she's going into a vat of coconut oil.
I'll take that for 100.
Yeah.
So Gaga was on your list of gets.
See, in this business, in order to stay contemporary, it's what have you done lately?
No, that's the that would be the etching well, here's the problem. There is the one-hit wonder, and you can play that song at festival after festival after festival. And by the way, with the Archer, if you stood in front of the David Bowie picture and said, that's mine, I'm pretty sure you don't have to do much else.
Well, I did interviews in Europe.
Well, why wouldn't you? Again, you're a hub. Everyone's 6 degrees. Everyone is 1 degree from every story you could possibly pull.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I got the Beatles picture. What's weird with the Beatles picture is it looks like a promo shot, like a straight up, hey kids, could you do a totem pole?
Yeah.
Did you actually say, hey kids, could you do a totem pole?
No, I didn't like them sitting in a straight line. And I just met George 20 minutes earlier backstage, and we talked. And I said, George, could you have John and Ringo come over and let's make a foursome instead of a straight line? So he got them in that position, and the first thing he did was look at me. So that was it. That shot this August will be 50 years old.
That is iconic, that shot.
Yeah.
And every time I look at it, I can't believe, it's so we are here. They're the Beatles, and they're clearly here to be the Beatles. It's a fantastic shot. I'm not too sure. I don't like this. I don't like the line.
Yeah. Well, I was
funny.
working for Capitol. I could do that.
Right.
Everybody else was a journalist working for a paper in Buffalo or wherever they came from, and the room was packed. There was about 150 in a room that normally held 50.
Right, and then you get to manipulate the pictures.
I get to say, hey, yeah, I don't like this,
I really love that shot that you have upstairs, which, if you are at this party, crazily, you can put your name on a ballot and have an opportunity to win a work of art, which is ridiculous. And normally those prints would run, if you were going to your website, what would they cost?
Well, I don't sell them on the website.
They don't.
But,
So why am I telling people to go to the website? What the hell's the point? Shouldn't you be able to make?
I don't sell anything. But I have people who have my work and they sell it. Yeah.
But I don't want to. So I got to get your work so I can put it on my wall. You're killing me. So there's got to be a way of getting your work. That doesn't even make any sense. When it's in gallery form.
Not at this time.
Right at this time.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
But you are working on a gallery idea. You
Yes.
told me working with another picture framing company or something.
And
third book in the works.
Third book in the works, and a distribution of portfolio sets
Right.
through the guy who used to sell the fine art posters.
Right. And now because Gaga
the
was
vogue.
that's right. So Gaga was last year's get. Who's this year's get, if there is a get for you? If you could wish list, and they would show up.
I mean, just to be challenged, it would be Taylor Swift.
To be challenged.
Yeah.
She's a fairly pretty girl.
She's not the same artistic circle as say Gaga is.
Well, where's Miley Cyrus in that hub? Then?
Not on the charts.
She's not.
Not on the radar.
She's not on anybody's radar.
Not on the want to right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like I said, what's your what's the latest thing you've done that matters? You know.
Is that what you're going to
And-
wrecking
and
ball? My
how
goodness.
far back is that? That's 2 years, 3 years.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
see?
Okay, so
And
music
she hasn't outdone herself yet. You see.
But is she still considered a kid in the business? I can't. Like a Justin Bieber
I
scenario.
don't think there's a definition you can lock her into anymore.
Okay.
The spotlight's dimmed on that girl.
Right. Bieber was ever do a Bieber?
Same story on it. I've never shot the man. No.
Because he's not a. I'm going to use the word rocker. You seem to have a flavor of who you want to capture.
Yeah, and
sparking.
Largely because it's my gang that kind of invented it a little before me. And
But you're not a paparazzi. That's not what you
No,
are. You're
no,
allowed
no,
to
I
be
hate- I
there.
hate the
You're
word.
licensed to
I
be
hate the
there.
word, yeah.
Oh, hold on. You hate the word.
Paparazzi and what it's become to be known of, especially in L.A.
Right.
It makes me sick.
The people or the product?
The people and the product.
Oh.
You know, they're only shooting what they can steal.
That's what they are, right?
Yeah.
The public
Yeah.
knowledge. Like I can look through your trash if you leave
And,
your
and
trash.
somebody says to me, "Oh yeah, you're kind of like a paparazzi, aren't you?"
No, I didn't say you were. Did
No,
I?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
People have said that to me at parties and stuff, and I go,
No, you're exactly the opposite.
Excuse me, but
Yeah.
I think you got that wrong. So, I've never ever been into a situation where the word paparazzi would apply to anything I did. So.
Well, even at the beginning when you were 13, I mean, you must have had some moments where you saw something you wanted to. I'm going to use the word steal because you used the word steal. I mean, it's when you're an artist, you don't.
Tell you the truth,
click, click.
no. Why?
Oh.
Maybe there was a certain element of fear of the industry.
Oh.
What would happen if I did steal something? And even if I was the only one in the room that knew I was stealing, and only by my
You would
definition.
know.
Yeah, you see. So what's bigger, the reality or what's in your own
What's
mind?
in your own head's more important. You
Yeah.
got to live with that. How do you sleep at night?
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to haunt
Yeah.
you into your grave. Wow. So basically, you're a good human being.
you have to have some professional scruples in order to be called professional. you know?
Right.
And the people that I work with, nothing snuck out the side door. I didn't get shots of them with a screwed up face and say, "Hey, here's how attractive this guy really is." I never did that kind of stuff.
Right. That you're going to leave that to Perez Hilton.
I'm not going to leave it to anybody.
No, that's what he does.
Yeah, I know that.
All right. So you don't like the fashion, like that form. Is there anybody else in the business that you would look up to? That these are the people in the business that are your peers. The truth is that when they talk about photographers, other than the list is not all that long.
Yeah.
So who are your peers that are still kicking about that you're like?
Well, Annie Leibowitz is there. She's working for Vanity Fair now. She did eons worth of work with Rolling Stone.
do you ever work together? Did they hire a bunch of?
No, there's enough consummate energy out there to keep the egos apart.
Because you are artists.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to ever have two
Maybe,
caliber.
Ethan Russell's a good friend of mine, and I've talked to. I used the word blended. Someday could we just blend a show? That would be something that I would probably be the proudest guy around
To blend the show.
to be with that. And I have a nice picture that he gave me of John Lennon he shot in the early days, and he says it's so good to meet you after so many years.
Right.
So
That's exactly the point, because as an artist, I see your photos. Clearly, I know how you feel about these people. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we know how you're experiencing that event, i.e. not the B-roll, like not behind the scenes. You're always...
Yeah.
See, is it easier to take a picture of someone when you're a fan of them or when you're not a fan of them?
easier when you're a fan.
So
and I'll go even farther with the Brenda Leigh case and stuff. And as a fan, I'm not talking romantically in love, but I did want her to be my girlfriend. And I was in love with her as a fan who whenever I wanted to, in the privacy of my bedroom, hear her on the radio, she's singing that song to me. As any other young girl that watches a boy band,
right.
And those young people singing to each other, they're telling the whole world what this whole world's about.
It's a story.
Yeah.
It's you're right. With a chorus and a bridge.
Radio allowed it to be 1-to-1. If you're up late all night, I was an all-night radio kid listening to stations as far away as Ventura, California, and I pick them up in Ottawa. 1960.
What was your genre back in the day? What did you play is what I'm throwing at you.
Well, we started out with playing surf music. And
I love me some.
Got into R&B.
Jan and Dean, baby.
Yeah.
Hold on, how many were in your band? Because you need like 4 or 5 part harmonies cooking on those
Well,
songs.
no, we never got to the harmony part. We just had one good lead singer, and it all worked. There wasn't a real beach scene here.
In Canada.
Yeah, and most surf records were instrumental.
Right, yep.
So
Down the road, Hawaii 5-0, yeah.
So then we had to turn
Wipe
to
out.
switching to R&B and
R&B.
silk and satin suits and
Weird, you're a white guy.
lead
Can I throw
singer.
that out there? I mean, kids, if you're listening, and I know you're listening, rhythm and blues, I'm not even sure I could tell you a white guy. So that's weird for you to choose that as where you would go.
Yeah.
Who's the white guy? Who's the white guy?
It was our Italian singer, Guy Poppy.
Okay, but there's not a long list of people
No.
doing rhythm, at least back then. Now rhythm and blues is interesting because it almost got picked up by hip-hop. It's almost the same, but it's not.
You got, John Holtz, Daryl Hall. They're probably the biggest example of what they call blue-eyed soul. And that was all R&B from Philadelphia.
Wow, it became popular music so quick for us that it was never R&B.
Yeah.
It crossed over.
Yeah.
Hall & Oates is Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
Did you ever take snaps of them?
Yeah, I did their Fiero tour whenever they launched that Fiero car, and
Well, yeah.
we were in Detroit, and they asked us out to the Ford plant. And we walked through and saw them made, and the very first 2 off the assembly line were given to Hall & Oates.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that as a story. And were you there taking pictures?
Yeah.
Huh.
And guitar player at the time was G.E. Smith, who went on to
G.E.
Night
Smith, Saturday
Live.
Night Live.
Yeah.
That guy's a cocky son of a bitch. He looks
Yeah,
cocky. He looks it on this.
And he's smart, and he's a leader.
Oh, so he feels. I don't know. Hey, how are they doing that band? Is that because he's
Well,
not there? I don't
he
see
left
him
a
anymore.
long time
I don't
ago.
see him
And,
anymore.
The bass player was also on Saturday Night Live. I forget his name.
Right, that's okay.
Short-term memory loss.
That's okay.
But a fabulous bass player, and he just died 3 years ago. So.
Man, this is the problem with life. At some point, it has to come to some kind of conclusion.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure, man, I wanted to do this for 16 months, didn't really know how to put it together. And when I started, I wanted to start with people that are in the radio industry because this is who is letting me do this and allowing me how to figure out how to pull this off to keep you intrigued, to keep on talking and chit-chat. And the guy called the Dr. Trance, I called him up and said, man, I need you. You changed the world of DJing. 2 weeks later, he passed.
Oh.
Right.
Woo.
Yeah, no, it was the craziest. And I said, you know what? I got to work faster, and I got to get these people on.
Yeah.
And not that I'm crying over you, sir, but I've been begging you to be on this program. But you don't like the technology of being online or Skype, and this is more personal.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of warmth out of Skype. And, sometimes the delays make everything look like a puppet show. So.
That's not true. That is true, but you have to slow it down. And I do not like to truly edit. Like everybody who goes to the washroom, I really would like to keep all of that in there because it shows that we're here.
Yeah.
I mean, art was being shown in the studio while I'm talking to John. Dude, it's like the Beatles were hanging out in
Yeah.
my world. I mean, it really is legends talking legends. And I have a problem with Canadians not knowing who you are off the head. No, I have that problem. And because of that, this is where this comes in. So I will be promoting your website for which you can't buy anything.
Yeah.
If you do want to reach out to Johnny, it's available through Facebook. But I thought I was going to help you sell some photos, but I'm not.
Well,
Books. Buy books. He has books on
my
Spotlight.
friend in Ottawa who has them in his store. His name is Uncle Bob Cabana. It's called Fab Gear.
Fab Gear.
It's 1112 Wellington Street West. And then I have a young lady in Gravenhurst that we're trying to send to Costa Rica to learn to be a yoga instructor.
Okay.
And she's got some of my prints in Gravenhurst, Barrie area up there. And her name is Emma G.
Emma G.
Yeah, and she's got the same thing you saw here this afternoon type thing. They're signed prints. They're not limited, and they're reasonably priced.
Oh, it's you. You're tapping your foot on the mic stand.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I actually didn't know where it was coming from. Like, why can I hear John's heartbeat? I hope he's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty rhythmic.
Yeah, no, because it was exactly like dunk, dunk.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't I hear that? So that was you just touching the
Yeah.
the mic stand,
Wow.
because this is live from my bedroom
Yes.
online, and I believe you're the wrap up of season 4. I've now have 48 interviews. I have now over 55 hours of content, which I'm anytime you do anything else ever in the history of time, I will then take a soundbite from this conversation
Right.
and say, hey, he's doing a gallery showing wherever, and this is how we chit-chatted that day. Is there? So I didn't get any weird stories out of you. I just got the most interesting crap ever. So, but is there something?
I'll tell you a cute one. You got a minute?
This is your time, sir.
Okay. In 1978, I did the photography for the Foreigner, band called
I
Foreigner.
do know Foreigner.
The album was called Double Vision.
I actually have that album.
And Warner Brothers said, let's jazz it up. And whenever the plane lands in Ottawa, Montreal, Winnipeg, cross Canada tour, let's have a pair of twins meet them at the airport as they get off the plane. Well, that's kind of cute. Maybe the
Double
guys
vision.
will like it. Yeah, and let's get Rowlands to shoot the first 3 landings, and get the band and the girls on the wire services as a editorial story, but down below it'll say Double Vision and talk about the girls, and everybody will go, Double Vision. Oh, that Foreigner's got a new album called Double Vision.
Right.
It's another plane of promo. Kind of.
I'm watching. Girls make me
Subliminal.
watch. Sure,
Yeah.
if they're
So-
blonde.
Anyway, I just take Mick Jones and Lou Gramm and the 2 girls, because if you have 8 guys,
How many are in the band? Foreigner?
6 guys and 2 girls.
So they got 8 people. Right?
So the wire services won't take any more than 4 people in a group shot, because you totally consume the byline with names.
Okay.
So you got 8 names to come off and a short story on a byline. It won't work. So
Okay.
I just said I second guessed and took Mick Jones, Lou Gramm, and the girls in the middle.
Right.
The road manager comes running over, screaming at me, what the F do you think you're doing with my band? If you're going to take the picture of the band, you get every member in there with these girls, or you're effing fired.
Okay, I believe that
Well,
was the cover.
I don't work for you, sir. I work for the record company. So, well, I'll speak to the record company, because my band, blah, 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 you're fired. You're fired.
Right.
He fired me in front of my boss,
Right.
Had no authority to fire me.
Right.
He said, look, just calm down. We'll talk about this later. And I just continued taking my pictures, and that was that. But anyway, 5 years ago, I hook up with Mick, working the road again with new guys in the band, and we're having a reception in Palm Springs, and he's real happy to see me, because we got along in '78, and I took some nice pictures of him that he really enjoyed. He called me up and asked me for copies. And we get to yakking on the update. He's got Jason Bonham in the band
Bottom.
on drums,
Okay.
yeah. And having a great time with him, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, remember back in '78, Mick? And he goes, yeah. Who was that guy, road manager with the bleached white hair, that SOB blankety blank, I dropped a few words on him,
sure.
got me fired, or said he was going to get me fired. He's a real,
He was a real you-know-what, kids.
Effing
he's got some
SOB.
He's got some SOB. The kids don't know the SOB.
And
he's
I
a
said
sob.
to him, I said, Mick, whatever happened to that guy?
Here it comes.
And he said, well, he's standing right beside you, John. And on my right shoulder is a guy in a very nice suit, short hair, and it's brown. But it's the same guy that was the white-haired a-hole in 78. And he grew up. And he was selling Prudential Insurance in Palm Springs. So for a millisecond there, we all looked at each other like, holy crow, boy, did you just lead me down the garden path and hit me in the head with a hammer?
That's funny.
And we all looked at each other, and then we just started laughing our heads off.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
Because one of us got fired.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Pretty funny.
I gotta tell you right now, I thought you were gonna tell me that guy, Donald Trump. I was expecting some kind of crazy payoff of this guy. You're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, logical writing, though.
Yeah, for sure. The new kids. So we got the Foo Fighters. Do you ever do Foo Fighters? Because that kind of threw me
Not
off.
Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl always.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah. Really.
But you've never done them as of
Not
yet.
the band.
All right, and then so the guy that took himself out. No. I
didn't agree with that band, so I didn't track him down.
Well, again, they're not rockers. They weren't. They were a new
Doesn't
genre.
matter.
No, but you seem to have this essence of knowing how to spark with someone who's bringing
You see,
a message.
and to me, that wasn't.
His message was sad.
Wasn't
and
a spark I could read.
I agree. Grunge is. I'm coming from a place of extreme depression, not cathartic depression, which is most of our rock and rollers.
Yeah.
Trying to work out the rage on stage,
yeah.
and I understood that. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of the grunge music, but I do like all genres of music myself.
Yeah.
I would call myself
Me
a
too.
folk music player because you can actually hear the lyrics for which I wrote.
Yeah.
That was the point of the song.
Yeah.
That's for me, anyways. I don't know what I'm selling anymore. I really wanted to push you as a concept of a thing. I want to have you on the television show I work on for sure. So during TIFF this year, you're invited.
It's right now I'm going through a transition and getting concentrating on books. And when it comes back to shows and traveling, I turned down a tour of Poland and Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
I met a guy in England that works for breweries and a couple of vineyards over there, and
by shows, you talking about gallery shows or interviews?
yeah, big galleries, yeah.
Oh,
And
you don't want to do this?
not unless everything's right. And to do a show, especially in Europe, where they have now solid newfound money.
Right.
It's not so much communism and regulation around anymore. And,
Right.
And they even have breweries and vineyards in Poland now. So
Right.
anyway, that sort of thing being what it is, you have to be ready on the other side too. There can be a demand, but unless you can fulfill the demand in the way it's expected, there's too many projects in the early days I did that were always underfunded
Right.
and never reached their potential because it was lack of funds.
Okay, well, if that's the truth, I don't want to have a story about lack of funds. I want you to be having fun doing what you're doing, making some funds.
Yeah.
So, so there's too much stress involved in that part of the show, and so what
Right
I was
now, that's all.
Yeah, it's not your cup of tea now.
Yeah.
But hopefully, well, I'm not too sure.
It will happen. That's why I'm coming out with these portfolios. They're going to be done on the same type of paper that you'd put into a show and put frames on.
Oh, then I can't wait for that to be up. I want to see that.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So as the show I was talking about was Out There with Melissa DeMarco,
Right.
where TIFF,
Yes.
which you were invited to, and now you're invited to all on your own without Ron, if he doesn't want to show up. But you're more than welcome to show up. So I hope to see you at TIFF for Out There with Melissa DeMarco. We're going into our new season
How are you?
of shows.
Studio.
It is the studio.
What's your name?
I'm Julie.
Hi, Julie.
I think we're friends on Facebook.
Oh, are we? Sorry, what's
Yeah.
your name?
John Rowlands.
Oh, yes, John.
Yeah.
Hi.
How
Nice
are
to
you?
meet
See
you in
you
person.
finally meet you in person.
Yes,
Yeah.
excellent.
Just as beautiful as I told you when I saw your pictures. You're a gorgeous woman. Yeah.
I'm Ricky, and we're in a Fleetwood
Hi,
Mac tribute band
well,
together.
far out. Yeah.
We're in a Fleetwood Mac tribute band together.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It sounds like it would be.
Well,
Yeah. She's Christine McVie, and I'm
Yeah, I
Stevie
do.
Nicks.
I do the keys
Ah.
on.
Nice.
I know Stevie Nicks.
You do?
Yeah. two New Years ago, she sang the Countdown
Oh, I remember
at
that.
a restaurant in Phoenix.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
she's a big Beatle fan too. I had the Beatles on my business card, And she sent her manager over to get a few of them.
I should put the Beatles on my business card. What the hell am I thinking?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're recording.
We are. Don't
that's the whole-
apologize
that's the
for
concept,
real
yeah.
life. You know,
All right.
this is.
Yeah.
Don't apologize.
Well, enjoy the rest of
Yeah.
your
So we got.
Nice to see
Are you, where are you performing? Anywhere?
We just performed in Port Credit for Paint the Town Red.
Yep, that's great.
And,
Yeah, that's a great outfit. This will be going out in 2 weeks. So anything in August or in September?
The next in September 19th, Port Perry.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Theater. And-
Port Perry has a theater now. It sounds. You might want to go to that Port Perry theater.
Yeah.
There's the one.
There you go.
We'll get to that.
Thumbs up so far.
I
Yeah, I
used to
know.
live in
That's-
Port
What are you
Perry.
talking about? Port Credit's the way. I'd like me some trivia. Is it to music, or do you actually everyone plays an instrument?
Yeah, we're a 5-piece band.
Oh no, and that's there you go. That's the way to do it. We're not going to SNL our way
Do
through
you do
this.
Oh,
Tusk?
We do Test.
Oh, wow.
I love that song.
Yeah,
All right.
me too.
Yeah, so it's called Ricky Nix. If
Ah,
look
Ricky
at
Dix.
the dates, because I'm Ricky. And,
Ah, that's nice. I'll look for you on Facebook. I'm a big fan of after I meet people to put them on
yeah,
Facebook.
Well, we can be friends now too.
Yeah.
John Rowland.
Well, this ain't wrong. He comes out to your.
Let me find my card here.
Yeah, and then he'll give you a picture. That would be for sure.
With the Beatle one, I'll give you one of those.
Are you gonna have a
No,
Beatle
this
one?
is a local card. I had those in California.
Well, this is me.
I'm sorry, I don't know you. Oh,
No, it's okay. I'm Adam Powell.
Thank you.
Nice to be met.
Anna.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to be met. I chit chat with people who are Canadian, trying to be Canadian talents, or have been Canadian talents and people forgot their names, which is kind of the motivator for the whole idea. That my children who are at this function came down to ask him questions, and then I will post that online. My children asking questions to John, and I would chit chat to learn a little bit more about the picture he took with the Beatles, the picture that he took with the Archer, of course, and I'm not too sure. Did you tell me the one you're most proud of? Did that turn out?
That's
Other
the
than-
Archer, yeah.
The Archer is
Yeah.
the one you're the
Oh,
most
yeah,
proud of.
Yeah. Before David even called.
So when you saw it in the contact sheet, wow.
Yeah, Zingo. Yeah, I have two of them that are very close.
And you have the original.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's your original.
Yes.
What do you think that's worth? That original right there.
No idea. I've been offered $2 million for them, so. I think I can do better.
Probably not for the photo, but for the money.
$1 million is not what it used to be.
It-
You know? When I was selling posters in the 80s, I went out, I did 44 states in 1 year out of the back of my own Jimmy, and I made $127,000 cash.
Holy moly, and a bag of chips.
Yeah, and I stored the stuff at a friend's house in Detroit, and when I was running low on the road, he put them on the bus. And say, send 5 packets of posters to Albuquerque. I would come into Albuquerque the same day that the bus got in the morning,
Right?
pick up my stuff for record low shipping fees at the bus station, and do another 4 or 5 cities.
Well, you clearly are one of the many, if there's only a handful of people that got to make a living doing what they love to do. And what's fun is that you're supporting the performers and you're supporting the entertainers and doing that in a fashion and supporting yourself. Your philosophy, I think I'm going to start working harder and harder to kind of bring in. There is no useless people. They just haven't found what they're good at yet.
Right? Yeah. What's their best job?
Yeah. What's the best way that they can help society move forward?
Yeah.
Clearly,
And-
yours
And
is.
see, it's 2 inches away from being an artist. You know.
I don't know, because the sad part of life, of course, is that you can't call yourself an artist. Only others can claim for you to
Right.
be so.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the catch-22. That's the.
But we're all in this for emotions.
I'm here to help others. I mean, I love what you're saying, because clearly, if I do my job well, and the car works, and the photo brings me there, and the comedy makes me laugh, I'm just here to help others. So,
Yeah.
why are you here? Because sometimes you need someone to help you get something on the top
Well,
shelf.
you know, down at the bottom line is, why are we here? We're here to love.
Well, see, you're doing better than I am. My problem is that I got so much fear in my life that I have to keep guiding myself through it.
Well, and
Yeah,
at
I'm
least
working
get
on
on
it.
top of it, because
I'm really trying.
fear is something that others teach us. It's not within us.
Well, it keeps you alive. I mean, if they
To a
teach you how to
degree.
keep alive, I mean,
To a
the
degree,
survival
yeah.
factor. So But then again, who just wants to merely survive? It's the zest and the zeal
Yeah.
for life. Well, you've given me more time than I've ever asked for. Out There with Melissa DeMarco is the reason I know you. Ron is the reason why I got this beautiful opportunity. I'd like to thank them for that. The Palmcast Network, as well as you bringing your pictures. I actually asked you to bring pictures with you because you didn't have them at the TIFF, so I was hoping that you would bring something out, and I was hoping to punch someone in the face and take one. So I still have that opportunity. I'd like to thank my kids as well. John, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you, Adam. Really nice to get together.
Oh, this was great.
Finally.
Yes, finally. Thank you. Yes, I signed my soul on the dotted line.
Okay.